Emmy Award-winning Ernie Johnson, who I'm thrilled to say is back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, Ernie?
I'm thrilled to be back on the Rich Eisen Show.
Thank you.
So how are you?
I'm better for hearing all of that. So what was it like being in that building last night?
Oh, crazy, man. And you know what? And that's one thing you kind of you forget sometimes when you're in the studio so much. Boy, when you can watch a guy like Russell Westbrook from courtside, dang. I mean, this guy is a blur. This guy is just like, I mean, it's incredible. And to watch Oklahoma City last night, you know, when they got the building rocking, you got the court slanted all downhill, and they in that second quarter when they broke that game open, no, the place was up for grabs. So, you know, they, as Reggie said it, they manhandled them. They did. They went in there and absolutely, the champs got smoked, and so now. Here's the deal: you still got to win game 4 if you're Oklahoma City, because that means you maintain home court advantage. I mean, the bottom line for these two games is you came here with home court advantage. Are you going to leave with it? And if you don't win game 4, it doesn't matter if you won game 3 by 60. So the drama continues to build. So
would you suspend Draymond Green for Game 4, as many of the fans are saying? 80. How many percent of people say they should, on our poll question, Brockman, right now?
88.
88% of the viewers and listeners of this show said Draymond Green should be sat for Game 4. Ernie.
Well, you know, when I'm sitting there with Shaq and Kenny and Charles,
yep,
and we're reviewing that, and I'm sitting here talking with 3 players, and I have those 3 players who say, no, look, these things happen. This is flailing. This is, you know, he caught him. When you get that kind of a player's perspective, then you kind of side that way. You know what? They could have easily kicked him out last night and not have to deal with this right now. You know, you could have looked at that replay countless times last night, and you could have said, "You're gone." And then we're not having this discussion today because you handled it right there. But when you look at it that much and you still can't say that that was intentional or anything like that, then I don't see. I'd be surprised to see the league go the next step and say that's a 2 and you got to sit out.
That's what I thought myself too, Ernie. They don't have to say it's a 2 and you have to sit out. They could just supersede it and just say you're out anyway.
Yeah,
but then the point is, then why have the 1 and the 2 system, right? I mean, why are we amassing points and accruing points over the span of a playoffs if we're not using that right here?
I mean, because you don't want to have a pattern of misbehavior. So eventually, if you get enough flagrant points or technical points, then you're going to sit out a game. But this is it's such a weird play to look at because obviously I can see the flailing thing, but you can also just see this direct kick to the junk. You know, so what do you? I don't know. It was fun to watch the post game last night because. It's almost like the positioning began right away. You know, they asked Steve Kerr about it. He said, "Oh, what about it? What, should they rescind it?" And so it's like negotiating on a deal.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go low because they may go high. So I'm not going to say as a coach, well, sure, I sure hope that when they looked at that, they don't suspend him because you're leaning that way. So Steve's like, yeah, they'll probably rescind it. So very interesting to see what the machinations are in the offices in New York today on how exactly you can handle it.
Well,
maybe they keep it at a 1 and they throw a fine in there. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, the reason why Kerr and Green want it rescinded too, Ernie, is that if it does stick, then even one hard foul that's viewed maybe the wrong way or the proper way by the officials in the game and call it a flagrant 1, then he's out. Then he's definitely out for a game.
Yeah.
Regardless.
So there's all kind of positioning and lobbying and all that going on right now. So it's all part of the playoff thing. But again, if Draymond Green finds himself in that position, can he be Draymond Green on the floor? Mm-hmm. You know, that's another question to be answered.
I've got Ernie Johnson here on the Rich Eisen Show. So are you watching the Eastern Conference stuff with the guys too? You sitting there with Charles and Kenny and Shaq watching Cavs Raptors as well?
No, we're not. You know, sometimes that happens. Like tonight, it might. We've got a little function tonight.
Okay.
For the crew, and a lot of times that works out that way. But like last week, you know, I left Golden State. I left Oakland and went to Atlanta for a couple of days, so I wasn't around those guys to watch, you know, games, you know, 2 and 3 or whatever. But yeah, in most years we do it. You know, we'll find ourselves someplace with the game on. And it was good to see Toronto get a game, that's for sure, because that was those first 2 games were a little tough to watch. But you know, we'll see what Toronto, if Toronto can sustain something like that and come back and tie the series, I would be really surprised, just given how well Cleveland's been playing.
Yeah, I mean, and now the question is, what adjustments get made for?
Well, maybe not shoot 41 threes in Game 3.
Well,
in Game 4, like you did in Game 3.
Right. Well, I guess
they shot 41 threes in the first 2 games combined, Cleveland, and they shoot 41 in Game 3. And so, you know, they've been living in the paint. I think you got to try to force the issue and keep going back there. And that would be. You didn't really solicit my opinion as a coach, and with good reason, but that's what I would do if I were Cleveland. I'd go back to what got you the 2-0 lead.
Ernie Johnson joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. So tell me about this 3-point contest that you got working here with Charles. Is that going down tonight, Ernie?
Well,
what's happening here?
Rich, you know, I hesitate to speak about that sometimes because I'm in that stage here 3.5 hours before the contest where I'm just trying to center myself. You know, I'm just trying to have a meeting with my staff, just on how I'm going to approach it this afternoon. So I can't divulge too much, but we'll be shooting 20 shots apiece from 3-point range at the peak. Here at Chesapeake Energy Arena. And all because Charles just made fun of my shooting ability one night out of the blue for no apparent reason, and said, I bet you couldn't make you couldn't make X number, or you couldn't, and I said, look, I came back in the next week, I said, here's a better thing. You and I together, head-to-head, shooting threes during the Western Conference Finals. And he agreed, and so that's what happens today. And again, it's now 3 hours and about 18 minutes away, and I feel like I'm in a good place right now.
Okay, so are you going to be shooting hoops out of just somebody passing you the ball? You're going to have a rack? Is it going to be just like the All-Star weekend?
Have racks. It's not going to be like we're not going to have a clock. We're not going to do that and be running from rack to rack.
Okay.
We're going to have a rack in each corner.
Okay.
A rack at the top of the key, and then the last 5 shots can be from wherever you want to take them outside the arc. And so, like, we'll go to the first rack, we'll flip a coin. Coin flip winner decides he wants to shoot first or second. And then I'll shoot 5, and he'll shoot 5. Then we'll move to the next rack. I'll shoot 5, he'll shoot 5, and on we go. Until 20 shots have been taken, and several, I hope, have been made. And then at that point, it will all be over.
And then, and so, whose style do you emulate? I mean, who?
Well, Steph Curry kind of has emulated mine. I don't know where he picked it up, but when I watch him and the effortless way in which he hoists the three,
effortless.
Then I kind of feel like he's been watching me, but. No, look, I don't want to divulge too much. You know, you never know if Chuck is driving around OKC and listening to the show.
No, we are on in Oklahoma City. So Charles, I know you don't want to, give him any bulletin board material, but I'm just, he has shot.
He actually has a bulletin board.
It's very interesting. He shot 27% from 3 in his career.
Yes.
She's a 27% 3-point shooter. So if it's 20 baskets he's got a chance at, you've got a shot here, Ernie. I think you've got a shot. I really do.
I want to think that I do have a shot because I do love to shoot the ball. And I don't go out anymore and play 3-on-3 or any of that stuff because you take an elbow in the mouth and suddenly you're not working in this industry anymore. And so, No, I do like to shoot. I like to do that when I work out sometimes, and so I'm certainly looking forward to the challenge that awaits me this afternoon.
And this is part of tomorrow night's coverage, correct? It's shot and then aired tomorrow night?
This will be shown tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be shown in the pregame show, which I hope it would. If I win, I want it to be in the pregame show so that more people will see it.
If you want to,
if you
win,
lose, I don't want to put. Huh?
Ernie, let me help you out here, okay? Because you're definitely you're definitely perhaps the most humble guy in our profession. So let me help you out here, because there is an I in Rich and Eisen, as I mentioned before. If you win, you want this in the pre, halftime, and post, and you pound the table with Turner producers for that. All right? You don't have to say that prior. This is just between me and you. You want it in all three. Yeah. You got to get it in all three. You must.
You know what? Rich, if it is a W for me, we may just join the game in progress tomorrow night. Hey, and we'll just update you. Hey, they're mid-first quarter, and it's 23-21. Now back to the three-point shootout.
There you go.
No, well, you know, it's going to be some fun. I can't wait. And again, it's just that, you know, I wish they were. You know, it's just one of those times where you're kind of pacing the cage and can't wait to go. And again, it's.
I like it.
You've caught me at a very, very, you know, introspective time.
So I appreciate that you would take time out of your prep, out of your mental bubble for this. So just to recap, your three guys on your set, Charles, Kenny, and Shaq say don't suspend Draymond Green. Doesn't rise to the level of suspension.
Yeah, I think the consensus was that no, this is a basketball kind of a thing, and it happens, and so that was kind of their consensus.
Okay, thanks very much, Ernie. Appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Rich, thank you so much, and I will be available if I win. I will be available
post game
tomorrow.
Okay, post game. You have great. Hey, I might hold you to that, Ernie. Okay, we'll check on you. Okay.
All right, kid.
Thanks. Same to you.
I'll see you.
That's it. That's Ernie.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.